And I understand that, babies are dying, children are dying, women are dying. It's terrible. It sucks. Like, I would not want to trade my position for someone in that situation for anything. It's fucked up. But I got bills to pay. I got places to fucking be, lady. We can't afford to be thinking about this shit. A loaf of bread is $5. Can we figure that shit out before we start getting into these Israel-Palestine fucking conflicts and these protests, damn it? Can we protest the fact that 12 eggs cost $17? That's not a joke. This is I'm being serious. Can we protest something a little closer to home? Some of these protests that are happening now, they're so ill-planned. Obviously, they're ill-planned because these protests, they're getting sprouted out of nowhere. It's like one day, the campus is fine. The next fucking day, it's got 200 tents in the quad. There's a bunch of protesters, and they're just like ready to go. But it's obvious that there's no long-term planning here because almost immediately after they're sprouting, they're already asking for donations, sending out lists of demands. We're not going to be able to keep this protest alive without your help. If only we would have thought it through just a little bit more. So listen to this. The University of Chicago anti-Israel encampment asked for Plan B and HIV test donations. What that has to do with the conflict in Israel and Palestine is beyond me. The only thing that tells me is that during this whole protest, y'all are out there fucking. And y'all are fucking hard. And you're fucking so much that you're putting a priority on it because you need some tests. What, you guys can protest the conflict, but you can't wear condoms? Like, what is happening here? So let's read on. Chicago United for Palestine, which describes itself as a coalition committed to Palestinian liberation, is the driving force behind days' worth of anti-Israel demonstrations at the University of Chicago. Thursday marked the fourth day. This is how unprepared they are. Thursday marked the fourth day of the group's encampment of Chicago's main quad. So not only are they just asking for asinine stuff, they didn't even have the forethought to think about this protest, this encampment, with like a 4-day forethought. These are the future politicians, the future technicians, the future engineers of our country that are doing this. In an Instagram post, the coalition made a series of supply requests for its medical tent, including Plan B, also known as the morning after pill. Chicago United for Palestine also requested HIV tests and dental dams, which the CDC describes as sheets used between the mouth and vagina or anus during oral sex. Jesus Christ. Is anyone in this protest even going to this school? It just sounds to me like a couple of like liberal chicks like got together and were like, we're gonna put up some signs in the quad to protest Israel. And a group of fratties were like staring them down like fucking like Wile E. Coyote looking at the Roadrunner like, oh my God, we got to get in that protest. It's like a bunch of bros like that don't even go to the school just all started gathering around. They're like, dude, these protester chicks are putting out. Like, they're not getting invited to keg parties, dude. They're putting out. Next thing you know, the whole protest is filled with people that don't go to the school. Everyone's fucking so much that they need Plan B, dude. No protection. They're gearing themselves up like they're getting ready for you. They're, that fake riot gear. It's like the plastic knee pads that you buy from Walmart, but it's like on the chest and the shoulders and the elbows. They're like showing up to these things completely masked up, wearing full riot gear, but none of them want to wear condoms when they're fucking in those humid, miserable tents. I can only imagine what it smells like when you walk out to the quad. It just smells like fucking pennies and bleach and BO. Fucking Cheetos and Mountain Dew. Oh, that's insane. So let's check out this this Twitter post. Gabby Deutsch posted a Twitter post that has a picture from the U Chicago United Instagram page. And this is a list of all the supplies needed for the medical tent that was posted to their Instagram stories. Now, granted, a lot of these supplies are like medical supplies that people would need. But once again, when you throw these like arbitrary ass supplies that you need donated that have really nothing to do with any sort of like cause or protest, like Plan B and HIV pills, these are not things that should be on any medical supply list at any protest. Like fucking should not be at top of mind. Not to say that it shouldn't happen, you know. Things happen in the passion of the moment, you know, two righteous souls entwining in this protest for a good cause gets chicks a little hot. I get it. You know, things are bound to happen, but it shouldn't be the fucking priority if you're protesting. So when you throw that stuff in the mix of your real medical supplies, it kind of almost discredits the fact that you may even need supplies in the first place. It kind of makes you seem like so ridiculous to people that are not involved in your protest, that they're just like, all right, this is bullshit. This is clearly just some sort of ploy for either attention or these kids got nowhere else to be. You can't put stuff like that in your fucking list of like donation requests and expect people to take you seriously. But I digress. This is what the list says. Like I said, most of them are actual supplies. So they need tables, heated gloves, wound pack gauze, portable chargers, Kerlix gauze, cat tourniquets, ace bandages, 4x4s gauze, ABD pads for wounds, goggles, emergency bandages, trauma shears, Vaseline, tweezers, CPR masks, butterfly suture closers, disposable stethoscopes, camping sink, buckets with lids, helmets, and now, here's the fun stuff. HIV tests, dental dams, Plan B, Diva cups, chapstick, Meyer blankets, contact solution in cases, and IFAC pouches. So, like I said, when you just sprinkle that shit in there, it might have been better off if they didn't clump all the weird shit together. Like, if you would have went, we need table, heat gloves, wound packing gauze, HIV tests, portable chargers, Kerlix gauze, Diva cups. Like, you know, you mix it in there. If you throw one in there, then after like 3 or 4, you throw another one in there. You know, people might not have caught on as fast. But to say that you need this stuff, it kind of just discredits all of the seriousness behind your so-called devoted cause. And like I said earlier, there are things so much closer to home that, in my opinion, these kids, the future generations of our country, should be upset about. Like, these kids doing these protests don't even realize how fucked the economic system is in which they will then be a part of once they graduate from school or fail out. As, you know, I'm sure a lot of these protestings are going to come with some consequences. There's no way that a school is just going to let you take over the quad with 200 plus tents, guaranteed you're leaving trash all the fuck over the place. And they're not going to start tossing out a couple of expulsions. There's no way it's not going to happen. So it's once again, it's funny that it's happening so far from home, but the protests are just going on. And I saw this one video with a couple of these protesters kind of giving their explanation as to why they're even doing this in the first place. And it makes a lot of sense. Like, when you hear the explanation coming from them, and when they explain it the way that they do, it actually does kind of drive the point in to like why they're doing it. And it gives you a better perspective as to why. I know once I watched this video and I heard why they were doing it, it made me feel a little more sympathetic to the cause. Because it truly is devastating. The reasons why all of these college kids across the United States are deciding to now come together in some sort of solidarity to protest this Israel-Palestine conflict. So let's make sure the volume's good, and let's play this video so that we can hear it, directly from the horse's mouth.
The reason that we're protesting today has to do with the fact that nobody has ever invited us to any keggers on or off campus. We've never been invited to any parties. We've never even been looked at by any men. I mean, I used to be into men, but then I decided that it would be easier to be non-binary. So these are the main reasons that we are against Israel. It is also really frustrating that many of the Jewish students at this school seem to have large friend groups and are able to meet people and have fun and have a good time. And we just see that as colonialism at play. So without colonialism, we would be able to level the playing field and make sure that students like us would be the center of attention as opposed to popular people.
And hold my fart like a bong rip.